All right. We're going to start this one right here. This is a gentleman I've been talking to. Of course, Krishnan, check him out. Put out this video yesterday. I commented on it. And this is a real quick too. He goes into it about how now you see that King James was black, right? The injection, the new ideas attached to the old ideas, yeah. So, wow, my wife just posited about the new Black Little Mermaid movie and how people are up in arms on it, about it, on Sunday, which was the day before. No longer the mermaid, but the merlion, the Merlin, King Arthur Charles, third time's a charm, the fake King Risen, the Lion King and its symbols. I won't read all this. It's funny right there, though, the video I made about the contemplation, the question had that, the campaign, and how this echoed back so quick. And of course, what led to this? Come on. You know I will. And I have. So, here we go. There we go. Let's see. Place for temporary accommodation of huts, tents, and other structures, not refugees, typically used by soldiers, refugees, prisoners, travelers. Of course, he said, look up a particular one. I got North American. Live for a time in a camp or a tent. The lodge. Gosh, this is not wanting to participate with me. There we go. The lodge. But let's keep going. Deliberately exaggerated and theatrical in style, typically for humorous effect. Ostentatiously and extravagantly effeminate, typically used of a man or his manner. And I just had the thing in the feed about the male to male extension cords behaving in an ostentatiously effeminate way. And we know about that. So there's the camp. Let's go back to here now. Place where army lodges, of course. Like it goes. Camp fever. There's that connection right there. Look at that. 1909. Tasteless. Live temporarily in tense or rude places of shelter. Love it. Try to go through this a little bit quicker. You know where I'm going with this. Because you can't camp without a tent. Circa 1300. I like how both of these, with these dates, which I've shown, times don't match up. To camp in a tent. Of course, the Proto-Indo-European, the 10. Something stretched. Right? You know, if we saw that up here, I'll go back. Stretched. To stretch. To stretch. Sing, to chant. You're seeing how these ideas are connecting a little bit. Oh my god. So a tent or a tabernacle. You see that? The tent. Man, this is good too. This comes so full circle. This is awesome. And we'll touch back on this one too, but here we go. To lead and to rule, to move in a straight line, to frame with bars. Very derogatory, very regal. The Reich, the reign. And the reign, of course, that means queen in French. Reine. Yeah? Royal, rule, sword, and the source. Not. But here we go. Of course, if you looked into this, and I have, like I said, I knew where this was going. King, a leader. To stretch out. To stretch oneself. You see that? See how those are connecting a bit? I think you know where I'm going. Of course, there's Regia. The direction. Look at that. Look at that. The production, the theater, the TV, etc., etc. It sure is, isn't it? Royal home, dwelling, abode. That's a good one right there. Look at that. The basilica. The royal palace, castle, fortress, resident, court, kingship. The royal tent. The royal tent. Of course, right there, I got that highlighted. If we don't know what that is the royal water, right? Used in alchemy. I don't know why that keeps coming up. There's your symbolism. That is portrayed as a green lion eating the sun. Look into this. Here we go. And of course there's Regulus. Translations, prince. Regulus, prince. We'll see how this keeps going. The ducks, so the ductor, the conductor, the doctor. There we go, the star in constellation Leo, and this is a royal star, along with Fomalhaut, and Antares, and Aldebaran. Okay? Regina. Damn, Gina. In the UK, the reigning queen. Reign. This is awesome, and this is what I'm talking about. The Crown versus Jones. I don't think so. I think it's more like Jones versus the Crown. Yeah? And you can't do this, right? Jones? See that? Regina has always had strong ties to the British monarchy. I bet it has. The name Regina was suggested in 1882. Gosh, that number, that year keeps coming up. Because that's also that year we figured out, we're told, they figured out we can't square the circle using a compass and a straight edge or a square, right? by the wife of the GG, the 7-7 Governor General, Princess Louise, the youngest daughter of Queen Victoria. God, so good. So good. So good. And if you didn't know, the autograph, if you will, or how it's stamped, is ER, which is Elizabeth Regina, which means queen. So this little story they give us with the 1882, here's how it comes around. And what's weird too, if you look at the comments I've done, I've referenced 2 people specifically, and then one that commented to me about something, to which I look up, and then Jungle here, Mr. Surfer, puts this out today. I won't read all this, but you can pause and read, or go check out these videos. I would recommend that. But I'm not telling you what to do. I'm not telling you what to think. So check that out. Go check out the video. But that's not, this is my thing too. Remember? So for posterity. But this, thank you, the Threshermansson. I'm sure that was, of all the dark things that took place yesterday, one, if not 2 of the most telling, sinister things that took place at the end was the flag/color banner being placed on the coffin to show the position of the commanding officer. And the last thing, the breaking of the wand, then placed on the coffin of the Scarlet War Witch, which I just, you'll see. This, Pedro Rojas Cervantes. Thank you, sir. Good. Cancel. Thinking. Just a thought. If you're familiar with the fasci, the bundle of reeds, which with an axe at the center signifies the well-hidden protected power that rules the world. One stick or staff, reed, can be broken, but not the bundle. Never mind the concealed axe handle. Perhaps the breaking of the wand signifies the end of her mortal reign, vested power of a figurehead while ship sails on the fasci is intact. And like I said, yes, the Scarlet Witch, WandaVision, has certainly been in the purview, hasn't it? The magic wands and axes are certainly something to marvel at, aren't they? Marvel, where have we seen axes and wands and wandas and witches? And then, of course, the great connection, the fasces, or the faces, seem to change, but the high story remains the same. Of course, symbolizing fascism, communism, socialism, the ism, schism, the divide. And this comes from the Etruscans and passed down to the Romans. Not to mention very prominently displayed in Washington, D.C. with our boy George. Our boy George. Oh, I want to do that just to show you. And the ashes. Gosh, there you go. It's a big one too. It's a big one. Did you see that? I just had to get that in there, sorry. Could be, I forgot about that. But right there, and then he hits it again. Look at this. The Royal Regalia, potato, of the Pharaohs. See that? The Pharaohs. Arms crossed, holding the cane and the shepherd's crook, or the crook and flail. Gently Pull and guide the sheep with the crook, and use the rod to beat or bleat if necessary. This is it. Yes, haven't put the face. But again, Mr. Cervantes. It is not important that the initiate understand the true meaning behind the symbols, rituals, and rites, but it is important that they think they understand. Mr. Pike there, about the pike, the PA, the announcement. Each degree they are told, we didn't lie to you, but here's a deeper, more accurate representation, meaning of what has been revealed to you. To reveal can also mean to reveal, to cover once again. Going through this, as you see how that echoes back so quickly from one to the other, having conversations, being mentioned the next day. The two gentlemen I've been referring to, the knowledge, and then we didn't lie to you, but here's a deeper, more accurate representation, while going through the etymology and the history and how these words all connect, not to mention the 1882 shout out. Yeah. Do we see that? Man. Do we see that? And it is that, isn't it? Isn't it? But thank you to all those that contributed. I hate that word. Mr. Surfer, Mr. Krishnan, and man, good thinking here. Right there. I appreciate it. Cheers.